What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Interesting one today, the PLAUD NotePin AI pen thing. Special thanks to PLAUD for sending this out to me. AI is the buzzword these days. This one's interesting mostly because of the use case. So this is supposed to be something you wear all the time. You hit a single button, it records the conversations going on around you, summarizes them, puts them into a nice little formatted way in the app. I immediately saw this and thought, okay, there's been a lot of AI devices that have come out. They've kind of flopped. PLAUD was the one who came out with the thing that you put on the back of your phone, the little card, and then on phone calls, you could hit a button and it would do the same thing. It would sort of summarize the phone calls via AI and format them and stuff like that too. This one's an interesting one to me because of the use case. To me, I want to use this a little bit differently maybe. So there's also an app that has come to my attention. I've been using it for about a week called Clay. And Clay is basically a digital Rolodex. So you can put all your contacts in there. It'll keep track of how you interact with friends, with colleagues, things like that. You can add notes, you can put birthdays in there, all that kind of stuff. I've been kind of using it lately as a means to keep notes on interactions I've had with friends and colleagues. So if I ask my friend, how you doing? And he's like, hey, you know, my dog's not doing too well. I got to take him to a vet. I want to remember that. And I'm not the best at remembering things like that. So I have been trying to put notes into Clay to remember things about friends, to just be a better friend, be a better colleague, remember things in meetings better, stuff like that. I literally haven't even unboxed it yet, and I'm sorry, but I just want to share my use case. I'm eager to use this for that, and then also for work as well. Zoom meetings, in-person meetings, just to really have an assistant, basically a scribe, if you will, to take notes while I'm having important conversations. So when PLAUD reached out and said, would you like to review this? I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So I need to mention, they sent me this for free. I do believe I'm getting paid for this review. I also will get kickback at the link in the description. Grab yours down below. There should be a certain percentage off for you. But as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. PLAUD hasn't asked me to say anything. I can say whatever I want. So there's that. Super long intro, but that's the angle I'm taking for this device here before we unbox it and start to test it out for a week or two. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing. This is how we view tech. We view it from an intentional living and minimalist perspective. We're more about experiencing products rather than getting into all the tech and the ins and outs of specs, which you can totally find out for yourself on these companies' websites. So please consider subscribing if you like reviews from sort of an intentional living perspective and an experiential perspective. It's more about how tech makes us feel and does it improve our life or hurt our life. That's the angle we take. So this here is the PLAUD NotePin bundle. Your wearable AI memory capsule, device and accessory kit. Comes with a wristband so you can kind of wear it as a watch, a clip so you can wear it on your shirt or on your blazer if you dress up a little bit more for work and events, or a lanyard. I see myself using the lanyard more, but we'll see. So let's get into the unboxing experience. First of all, really cool packaging. Like, I didn't expect the packaging to look like this, honestly. Ooh, really satisfying pull tab there at the top. Two compartments within the compartment. Here's the pen itself and here's the accessories. I think we should do accessories first. Wow, I really like the way this looks actually. Here, let's see what we have. My guess is this is the magnetic clip. Pretty heavy and all metal actually. I expected that to be plastic. That's really nice and unexpected. And this is metal mixed with an interesting, kind of like a slippery rope. I don't know. So there is that. And then finally, I'm guessing this is the bracelet wrist strap. It's a white design, which is interesting. I'm not sure which one they sent me. It's got the black one on the front, but I'm not sure. Maybe they sent the silver one. Nice silicone, stretchy. How does it work? Oh, it's just magnetic, I think. Yeah, so there's your wrist strap version there. All right, let's get into the pen itself. I've heard this is about the size of like a AA battery, so that's nice. Hopefully nice and light as well. It's interesting, it's magnetically held in the case by some magnets under that there. Wow. Wow, it feels like a little pebble. I don't know why I assumed it was going to be plastic. I guess just for weight purposes, but this seems like an all metal design, which I'm actually really thankful for. I'd rather it be metal than plastic, even if it has to be a little bit heavier. So, all right, showing you how you can use it. So I guess the pin itself comes with a magnetic backing, so you can attach it like behind your shirt kind of thing, like a microphone you would use. You've got the pin version, and then it shows you how to put it in the bracelet as well. Quick start guides. There's obviously an app that goes with all of this as well. USB-C to USB-C charging cable, which is really nice and braided and white. And then here's the actual charging puck itself, which is silicone on the bottom, so that's a good way of keeping it on the desk. Whoa, that is a really strong magnet. All right, let's see. Let's take off the magnetic backing. So this is interesting. You're gonna have to take off the magnetic backing to access the pins here for charging on the charger. Wow, I like the way that sits. I've also seen, you know, some of their marketing materials shows just this sitting on the desk charging during a meeting, in the middle of a conference table, something like that. Yeah, wow, this, I'm gonna be honest with you, pleasantly surprised at the build quality here. It seems to be all metal design. I got the darker one. There's not a clickable button. Oh, I guess it's recording. All right, so that's everything that comes with the PLAUD, and I think I'm saying that right, the PLAUD NotePin. Like I said, I'm excited to use this for a few different scenarios. I guess the big question is always gonna be, are you required to ethically tell everyone around you that you're recording them? I will, but interesting to have devices like these out in the wild where like you could be sitting at McDonald's recording someone's conversation. I mean, you could technically do that with your phone. So there's that too. Not a big deal in my opinion, but yeah, we're gonna play around with this, really get into it, get into the app that comes along with it, see how this works for the next couple of weeks, and I'll be back with you all for my final full review of the PLAUD NotePin. Again, special thanks to PLAUD for sending this out. Links in the description if you want to pick yours up today, and I will see you all in a bit. It's hard to talk about this device without talking about AI, without talking about subscription fees, without talking about like how AI is used in our life. Now, what I'm gonna do is, just to show you how this works, I am going to go ahead and start, it just buzzed, a recording. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film this review, and then at the end of the review, I'm actually gonna dive into the app and have it transcribe the review that it just heard, have it summarize it, so you guys can get like a real-time view of like everything I've said here compared to how this thing works. So to explain how it works, I think first and foremost, that's where we need to begin. So this one struck me at first because I saw it was announced, and I didn't love it at first because I was in this mindset of like, what are these AI devices? But the more I read into it, and actually when they reached out to me, I was like, okay, hold on, let's take a second look. This one's interesting because it's not trying to be this like companion or run your life for you. I think the main focus of this device, so their focus seems to be more corporate, more meeting focused, creative meetings or professional meetings. And I like that idea. And I don't think it's trying to be, you know, a companion or like, is this real life or not? It's just a tool that's helping you, you know, basically be your scribe that you wear around your neck. It's listening, it's writing down notes and summarizing them, coming up with to-do lists. That said, I think, you know, it's using a couple different AI models. I know ChatGPT-4 is kind of the one that I use most. There's another one they use as well, but it's using that AI model to basically, like I said, summarize what it's hearing. Now, this in and of itself, from what I can tell, is just basically a microphone with a battery. It's all the computing happens via the app. So once you move the data that it's recorded from here over to the app, that's where the magic happens. So there's nothing super special about this device. I will say battery life has been fantastic. It's an all metal design, which also I don't feel is necessary for them, but I love that they did it. I think so many devices coming out now try to come in cheap and, you know, ride down the cost, which makes a lot of sense. But I think like a full metal design, it's got a certain heft, a certain weight to it. You can wear it around your neck like this. They have sort of a wrist strap that you can put it on. You can attach this and use it more of like a clip onto a lapel or something like that. And then also the device itself comes standard with this like little magnet too. So you can kind of wear it pinned to your shirt. It's a pin. I think something I was really interested in, and I wanted to kind of, this is kind of a sidestep away from just review here, but not only in business meetings and stuff was I interested in maybe getting my meetings summarized, but also like intentional time with friends. Like many of you all may or may not know, I have a thing called Fire Pit Bros, which I do with a couple guys from my church. Every Tuesday night or whenever we can, we make a fire pit, we talk deep, we talk intentionally about one another, we pray for one another. And like, you know, a lot of times I have trouble remembering things that people have going on and whatnot. So I started to bring like a notebook to those meetings and like write down stuff, but then that's clunky because they're like talking to you maybe about something really hard or really exciting. And I'm just like taking notes. I was like, that doesn't really work, but I don't want to forget these things. So I thought it'd be cool to have something like this that's also listening, and that can sort of regurgitate the most important pieces of conversations I've had with, you know, just friends and family. So I was excited to try it out like that, which I'll get into here in a minute. As a review, I think build quality, the battery is great. I've used it for meetings that run over an hour and a half, multiple meetings like that during the week, and it's been fine. Really quick, while we're here, I'm gonna say something about my dog, which is he just got a haircut. And later on, I'm gonna use the Ask AI feature and see if it can remember that I said that. Amidst all of this talk of reviews and technology, my dog got a haircut. We'll see. I'll also say, anytime during this review, link in the description. Thanks again to PLAUD AI Note for sending this out. And if you buy through the link, it helps the channel. Now, I've been testing this for quite a bit. I've used it in those social situations. I've used it in meetings with clients. I've used it in meetings with my internal team at work. And I have to say, it does a decent job. I think one of my favorite aspects is like putting it in the middle of the table where we're having like an internal meeting, for instance, and it's able to pick up on different voices. And when it transcribes, it'll say like speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3. Then you can label those people. Oh, that was Vicky. Oh, that was Sheree. Oh, that was Jeff. And it'll know when those people are talking, that's who it was. And it'll be able to summarize those notes based on who was speaking, maybe who was given a certain task. Jeff, can you get this form filled out for us? It will remember that and add it to the bottom. And I've used it to, I think what's interesting is you can wear it under your shirt and it still picks up. I used it on a client meeting the other day, which ethics are strange with listening devices and AI and blah, blah, blah. And you can make the case that our phones are always listening, that Alexa's always listening, whatever. But that being said, it's probably always good to ask like permission if you can record things, which I didn't do the other day. But I'm not using that for anything. I just wanted to test it. So don't come after me. Let's go ahead and start recording my phone screen here because I kind of want to just dive into the app because again, this is where the magic is happening. I'll also say they have a desktop, I guess, web browser version of the app too, which just allows for better, like, I don't know. You guys know working on the computer has sort of different perks. I'd say the biggest thing is being able to create files and organize these recordings a little bit better. You can see it's currently recording up here at the top, what I'm saying, which is cool. And that's happening kind of live. You can see all these different recordings that I've done. But yeah, I wanted to kind of walk through a couple of things. So the next thing I want to talk about, because we've talked about AI, and I think where this product sits, I think it is definitely a tool and it has sort of a specific and good use case. Excuse me. I'm making a video. The next thing with AI, the next thing with just apps, software, tech in general, so many people are mad at how many subscriptions there are these days. Everything tends to be like, hey, you buy the device for this much and then there's a subscription fee. I also don't love that, but it's becoming the way of the world, and as frustrating as it is, I know there are still companies out there who don't ask for subscription fees, but I still don't know how I feel about it. I don't love it. So here's the deal. When you get this device, you have a free plan, which let's hop in here. Your starter plan gets you 300 monthly transcription minutes, right? So you can use this to record all day long, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to actually subscribing, which I'll show you all in a few minutes, and like summarizing the text and stuff, that's where they're gonna sort of count up your hours, or minutes, I should say. I do have the Pro plan. Again, thanks PLAUD for sending me a code for that, which gives me 1,200 minutes. It also gives access to this brand new Ask AI feature, which I actually haven't even tried. I wanted to try it with you all. Again, I'll try that here in a few minutes. As you can see, annual $79 or $658 a month for the Pro plan. You still get all these amazing features outside of the Pro plan, but again, it's gonna come down to how often are you using the device. I have some meetings that last 90 minutes, and that's basically a third of that monthly minutes already used up. I could even argue like 1,200 is still a little low, but the good news is you can pick and choose, and also you can always buy more minutes, which is interesting. Take that as you may. That's how the company's choosing to make a little bit more money on this, and obviously it costs money to do all these crazy AI features, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so that's sort of the subscription membership plan there. All of this can be backed up to the cloud, which is nice. Like I said, there's a desktop version, so you can come in here. You can do different sorts of folders or where it's coming from and import different things. You can also just import audio. So like if I recorded a meeting on my phone, I could also throw it in here as well. Anyway, if we hop in here, you can see it's recording, and in a few minutes, I'll turn this off. But you can see I've used it for 8 different days, 16 files, 9.6 hours, just some fun little stats, I guess you could share if you wanted to. But so before I end the recording, I can honestly say, like, I recommend this. I think it's great. I'm gonna continue to use it at work. I literally have happily and excitedly been using it at work. I've used it at church. I've recorded sermons while I'm taking notes and been able to go back and like let AI pick out what it thought was the best parts of the sermon. Like I said, I've used it with friends, and just as a side note, there's an app, this is not sponsored or anything, but there's an app called Clay, which is kind of like a CRM database for your like relationships and friends and colleagues and stuff like that. It's like a personal thing. You can use it with teams as well. I've been using it to try and keep notes on my friends. So like I meet with a guy named Ben and I know what he's got going on and I take notes on him. And the next time I see him, I can open up his notes and remember, oh, he, you know, his daughter just graduated or whatever, having those notes. And I thought it would be a really cool way to integrate this too. I meet with the Fire Pit Bros. It picks up on the most important parts. I copy paste those into their little files on Clay. And then I have this sort of almost automatic updated version of, you know, how my friends are doing and things like that too, which come at me. I don't have the best memory. And, you know, again, AI is in this weird space where it's like, should I be relying on AI to remember what my friends have going on, or should I just be better at remembering what they have going on? I would say probably. But anyway, just some ideas of how you can use this device as well too. So I recommend it. I think it's fantastic. I think the pricing, it is what it is. I think the device itself is $179. I'll have my editor put it up here if that's correct or not, which I think is a decent price too, especially since the all metal design. I think it's designed intentionally well. I like the way the charger works. You just kind of slap it on there and then USB-C plugs in the bottom. I think the bracelet's interesting. I think the pin is very interesting. I think this is just the most natural way to wear it, and you can even just throw it under your shirt and it'll still pick up on things like that. So in fact, I don't know if it really makes sense to, but no, it doesn't make sense to. I was gonna put it in my shirt so you guys can get an idea for that. But all this said, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording on here. Thank you, PLAUD AI NotePin. So again, just a simple double vibrate means it's done recording. And as you can see, it is already, because I had the app open, it sort of transfers while it's going on. Another great feature I have found is you can actually have it connect to the phone's Wi-Fi, and then the file transfer happens way faster. You can do it via Bluetooth, or you can do it that way. It's like maybe 5 seconds, even if it's a super long meeting, to transfer to the phone if you use the Wi-Fi version. Right when it's done transferring, it goes back onto your regular Wi-Fi, kind of thing like that. So use that if you want to. I've found it to be super nice and a super nice touch and super helpful. So here it is. A recording. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film this review, and then at the end. So it's obviously not the best microphone, but it doesn't really need to be. It just needs to hear well enough for the AI to pick up on who's speaking, what's being said, and things like that. So I'm actually gonna dive into the app and have it. So you can get an idea of what that sounds like. Transcription, so I'm gonna go ahead and click generate. So here's the thing that's cool too. So you can have autopilot, which it'll just listen to the audio and kind of make a summary based on what it thinks is important and sort of structure in a way that it thinks important. If a speaker's speaking, it might pick up on, oh, this was a keynote, or if it's a quick business meeting where you list out the issues and then you want your to-do list, it'll pick up on that. But you can also pick from different templates as well. So you've got meeting note, call note, dictation note, consulting, task management, reporting, a class, a lecture, a training, a call, an interview, medical discussions, things like that. But you can also create your own. So if I created my own level 10 meeting note, which is a specific kind of agenda, a way that I do my internal meeting with my team at work. We have like a segue, we have a scorecard review, rock review our to-do list. Then we go into issues and we talk about what's going on, what's wrong, what do we need to fix, what do we need to solve and discuss. Then we conclude, we have a to-do list, and then we all rate the meeting. So because I've set this up in this way, AI will try and listen to that meeting and then put it in these different sections that I've labeled here, which I think that's super nice if you have a very specific way how you do meetings and maybe they look a little bit different than one of these templates here. You can do it that way. What I'll do, and what I usually do outside of that meeting, if it's a client meeting or something, I'll just do autopilot. And it says adaptive structure, all scene adaptation. We'll use this template, speaker labels. So again, you can say who's speaking at what time. It's in English. You can pick your AI model, so Claude 3.5 or GPT 4o, which that's just what I've been using as the default. And so it will go ahead now and transcribe this review, and then we'll be able to see, you know, what the transcription looks like. It also comes up with a mind map, which is really interesting, especially if you have like creative teams. It'll kind of put everything that we've talked about into these like weird sections and tangents and stuff like that too, which is kind of cool. But I'm gonna let this do its thing. It usually takes a few minutes. All right, cool, so it has transcribed it. Speaker number 1, I'm gonna say is me, save. So there we go, I was the only one speaking, so that one's easy. Let's come over to our summary. All right, theme: this lecture focused on AI device design for corporate and professional meetings. Here are the takeaways. All right, chapters and topics, key points, considerations. I think what's cool too, and this one's short, but what I'm really excited for is this Ask AI feature, which again, I haven't tried yet. If you're doing YouTube reviews, here's another idea. Have it create a blog post for you. Like I could just take that and post it as a blog post after I post the video, which is super nice too. So in terms of content creation, you can kind of double your content efforts live, real time, right in the app here too, which I know you can do with ChatGPT and stuff as well. But this is just sort of a streamlined version of this, I think. So let's go ahead and ask AI. Let's say, all right, so add to-dos, rewrite format, that's cool. What did I say about my dog? I said I was gonna do that earlier. Let's see if it remembers. All right. You mentioned that your dog just got a haircut. There you go. I can insert this, which is cool. So put it right there in this like script section. I could also say, let's see if it'll do this. Rewrite format. Report email scheme. I wonder if I could just say, make this a blog post. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Review of PLAUD AI NotePin. So there we go. There's a blog post right there, which is cool. So anyway, that's cool. I haven't tried that. Here's our mind map. We're gonna discard that. Here's our mind map, right? So takeaways, theme, chapters, topics, which is kind of cool too. I love that. And again, transcriptions here, summaries here, extract conclusions. Let's do that. Device purpose, build quality, battery life. Excellent, yep. Ease of use, social and professional use. So there you go. There's my review. If you'd rather read it, there you go. But yeah, I have enjoyed this. I think it's a good intentional take on AI. And it's not trying to do too much. It's not trying to be your best friend. It's not trying to do your chores and order groceries for you. It is in sort of one package deal, summarizing, you know, meeting notes, things like that, picking up on what's most important. And again, I think one of my favorite features is that you can add your own template, right? You can say, I want you to hear this review I just did and put it in this, you know, sort of structure, right? And I think that's really helpful. That's the device. I recommend it. I think it's cool. I think it's priced well. Again, thanks to PLAUD for sending this out for review. I have appreciated it. I appreciate working with the company as well. I'm excited to see what they do next with their software, with their hardware as well. But that's gonna do it for this review. If you enjoyed this video, like it for more. And please consider subscribing if you like technology from a minimalist and intentional living point of view. Watch this video next. I think you're gonna love it. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next one.